It is a gorgeous, gorgeous sunny day. That rain cloud on there, I don't know what the heck's going on with there because there's not a cloud in the sky. And I don't think it's supposed to rain today. And if it is, it's supposed to be a little bit maybe late in the afternoon. So maybe that's it. It does say forecast. But meanwhile, oh, gorgeous. Just a little too cool for me to sit out there, though, this morning to do the vlog. Morning. It's, oops, I forgot to do my hair again. Oh, well. I combed it, but then it, you know, when it's wet, you don't care, whatever. Good morning. Thank you for joining me for coffee. First sip. Always the best. Yeah, yesterday was a quick hello because I got up late and I had done not one single thing getting ready for company, but the house is all straightened up and clean-ish. And, yeah, I'm taking today off. One day of working. But, you know, it was a lot to do. And Dennis is a procrastinator, too. So he had all his stuff to do. But he did vacuum the rug for me. So that was nice. And he was cooking. But we had a really, really lovely visit. Russ and Pat are the most delightful people you'll ever meet. And so we had a very, very nice visit. And Pat's so funny. She says, when we were coming up, I didn't want to presume, but I was really hoping Dennis was going to cook for us. I promised her that he would cook for them every time they come. If that encourages them to come. We love when they visit, and Aura loves to have them up, so. And Aura's hilarious. Every single bite, and I am not exaggerating, every single bite, take a bite, she, every bite, she's like, She is a very appreciative audience. For a cook. So we had a nice visit, as I've just said 14 times. And I stayed quite a while, and so I was a little late, and I didn't end up doing any, I was tired, and I didn't end up doing any crafting at all. I was on my phone and replying to comments and things like that. So I didn't pick up my knitting, but I wanted to show you what I did the day before, 2 days, the day before, 2 days before, whatever. You haven't seen my magic socks yet. I decided to give up on that whole idea of having contrasting cuffs because, you know, procrastination, just keeping me from starting. I have a lot of ends because I use a long tail cast on, but it drives me crazy. I don't know why. This is tangled in a way that I don't understand. It drives me crazy to get it wrong. Like, you have to guess how much tail you need in a long tail cast on, and I hate to get it wrong, so whenever I have the opportunity, I just use both ends of the ball of yarn, or if I have two, I use, you know, one from each, and then I don't have to guess. I just put them together, put them in a loose knot, and go from there, and then I cut one of them off and knit away. Oh my gosh, these are the smallest socks, and I cannot. I don't know what I did when I put them in that bag. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so but what that means is you have 2 extra ends to weave in when you're done. My candy cane. Here, these are better. I'll give you this side. The pattern, which you cannot see very well because the yarn is very inappropriate for the sock, and I've only done 1 repeat, is a 16 count repeat. So I just put a stitch marker so it helps me stay in pattern But anyway, aren't they pretty? I love the yarn. I love the pattern. I do realize this is not the perfect yarn to show off Carol's cute pattern. But I will be working on these more today. If I have brain power tonight, I might be fixing my sweater. I might be taking it out. We shall see. I really don't have much planned for today other than crafting and my phone. But I am going to the fish store. Today is Dennis's D&D night, and so I try to give myself a treat that I'm allowed to have while he's gone, so that I don't go get myself a treat that I'm not allowed to have. Because I'm weak. So I'm going to the fish store to buy, and I'm going to get myself some oysters on the half shell. Have them open them for me. So I'm going to get myself some oysters, but I'm also getting some whitefish. Dennis is going to make ceviche probably tomorrow. And I'm getting some stewing oysters because Dennis's wok came yesterday. Very exciting. And so I imagine today he's going to be preparing the wok, because the wok comes covered in beeswax to keep it from rusting. And so he's got to burn the beeswax off, and then he has to season the pan. And so that's probably, I'm guessing that's going to be his project today. And so I am going to buy oysters for the oyster sauce, because I'm sure we will be having woked food, stir-fried or whatever you want to call it, in his wok this weekend. And he made boeuf bourguignon for dinner last night, which was delicious. And he said, oh, if only that my wok were ready. Well, actually, it came after he did the meat. Only if I had my wok, I could do this so easy. So it's not going to be just for like traditional stir-fry Asian food. But anyway, my guess is he's going to be working on his pan today, and I'm going to get oysters. They have oysters already shucked, stewing oysters. So I'll be getting some of those to make the oyster sauce. So we'll be having woked food this weekend, I'm quite sure. Oh, but it's so nice to sit here and it's all clean and straight. If only I did it more often. Pleased myself. But, I am who I am. I guess if I really cared or it really bothered me, I would change or try to. So I'll just complain about it. Anyway, so there you go. Did you hear the story? There was a fox. A fox was on Capitol Hill. Even you not in the United States probably know that Capitol Hill is in Washington, D.C., where the Capitol building is, where the House of Representatives and the Senate meet. And that's where the protest, riot, whatever you want to call it, on January 6th last year happened. And so it's very blocked off. I'm not even sure if you can have tours of the Capitol anymore. And I think that's really blocked off. Now, I haven't been in D.C. for quite a while, but I'm pretty sure that they've got barriers around it, like they're doing more security around there. Anyway, a fox got into Capitol Hill, bit a congressman, and 8 other people, or 7 other people, like 7 or 8 people got bit by this fox, and when they caught the fox, it had rabies. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. So I feel really bad for those people because the rabies shots are really bad, I understand. I don't know, maybe they're better now, but I don't know. So anyway, that was a crazy story. And apparently, I mean, you don't want to be in DC now. Apparently there was a big super spreader event and everybody and their mother and their husband has COVID. Kamala Harris's husband has COVID. Nancy Pelosi has COVID. How many senators have said they have COVID? I mean, there was a big party and, you know. We just had a small party. I hope none of us had COVID. We would spread it to each other, although we do have our ventilation going. We are still being very careful. I don't know if you can hear that fan. It goes all the time. And it's really kind of embarrassing to look at it because it's quite brown now. Because it's filtering air. So I haven't had to dust as much as I would have normally. Or the dust wasn't as thick. Put it that way. Because I wouldn't have done it more often, but it wasn't as thick because it's being filtered. But, yeah. So, don't go to DC. If you're in DC, stay home. Yeah. Not a safe place. Mother Nature, in its many manifestations, is not happy with Washington, D.C. It poured rain yesterday. It is so gorgeous out there now. I am so delighted. But it poured rain several times. It didn't pour all day, but it poured, you know, for an hour here, and then it, you know, lightened up. We walked the dogs because we had to walk the dogs with company coming. They needed, you know, but it was a very light rain, so we just wore our raincoats and we were fine. Well, actually, Dennis wore his wool hat. I have a hood on my jacket. He's like, I have a wool hat. I'm fine. I'm like, you do have a wool hat. He's so cute. He does like his hats. He has three. I have knit him 3 hats. They're, you know, very light when it's just cool, medium, and then heavy when it's really cold. And so you can tell how he feels about the weather by which hat he decides to wear. But, so we were able to walk the dogs, but it rained all day. We have a metal dog water bowl on the deck that the dogs consider the outside water to be the most delicious water. It's like the gourmet water. And so they preferentially will drink the water from the water bowl on the deck, which in the summertime we fill because they're outside and, you know, and they'll stay out with us. And so we fill their water bowl out there. But we don't fill it in the winter, but of course it's still out there because, you know, we wouldn't move it. Anyway, it was empty a couple days ago, and it is completely to the brim today, and it's about that high. Is that 4 inches, 3 inches? It is just slightly tapered, but very slightly. So it's not a legitimate rain gauge because it's not straight up and down, but it rained a lot. Muddy paws. I had taken the area rugs up to like shake them out and beat them, which left a big muddy spot on the side of the house because of course it was raining and I had my slippers on, so I didn't go outside. I just leaned out the door. So now I'm gonna have to get the hose and clean off the house. But anyway, I didn't put them back down because I was sweeping and whatever, and you know, I looked, Dennis said, muddy footprints, and there's muddy footprints coming all the way in the house, into the bathroom. I mean, just like everywhere. I'm like, I guess it's time to put the rugs back down. But, oh, Maisie was so cute and the best yesterday. We were walking in the rain, and of course, that meant we were the only ones in the park. And Pearl got really rowdy, and she was like attacking Maze or whatever, and I lost hold of Maze's leash. And so Maze is trying to get away from Pearl, but Dennis has Pearl on the leash, so Pearl's not chasing her far, but so she runs off away from Pearl, and so she's like, you know, not too far, but away from us. And Pearl's still kind of going for her. Dennis is trying to keep her away a little bit, and I told Maisie to come. And she came. She just came. Even when Pearl was a little bit in her way and in her face, she came. Now, she comes in the house, and, you know, but that was the first time that she was, like, loose in the world, although, you know, she had a leash dragon, and we were there, and where's she gonna go? There was nothing of interest that, you know, like a kid or another dog in the distance for her to, like, oh, I can go visit them. But she came. She just came. I was so proud of her. Of course, she got a treat for that. Pearl was a little, you know, like, wait a minute, why is she getting a treat? So then we had them both sit, so they both got treats. But she just came. We were shocked. I guess that tells you the level of training we've been doing, but that's the first time she's sort of been loose in the world. Not in the backyard where there's a fence or whatever, you know. So anyway, we were very proud of her. She did good. Yeah. Oh, I've had a request for more dog sightings, but they're not around. Oh, they're probably upstairs having tea with Dennis and laying in their beds again. They are kind of lazy, except for when they're crazy. They did pretty well last night with the company, though. They didn't go overboard, so that's good. All right, I've been talking a long time. I'm going to stop. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you are well. Please, please take good care of yourselves. Please, please stay safe and stay sane.